Your business is in sync with LiveSync. This webinar is powered by LiveSync Accounting and Xero Accounting Software. Introducing Attorney Dexter Destajo.
Now, final part is to show you now, the final part would be to show you an integration sample, no? A live integration process that I'm going to do. You have to take note the following. Access. The only person who can do integration would only be the advisor access, okay? No other users can do integration. Number two, before you do an integration, obviously, you have to select what type of software that you would want to integrate. For that to be successful, you have to make sure that particular software is listed in the Xero Marketplace. Okay, so this is Xero Marketplace. Let's say you would want to do an inventory. You can select inventory here, all these options. If you're looking for point of sale, there's also point of sale. If you're looking for, let's say, HR. So these are popular HR tools that you can connect. The closer we have is HR Easily because they have actually a Philippine office, I think. So if you want an HR, I'm not really selling them, but based on our experience, this is the only software right now that can connect to Xero in terms of HR. Okay, so you can select. So find that right Xero add-on. The next would be make sure that your chart of account must be set up properly. Okay, so your chart of account must have all the other information that is needed. Now, in some cases, when you're doing integration from the other add-on supplier, you can actually add chart of accounts here from the other supplier, other software. No, so you can either add here before you start integrating, because the chart of account is very important in the integration. This is where the data is being pushed to what particular ledger. And take note, Xero is an accounting software. And maybe the add-on is not really an accounting. It's just basically tracking how much invoices, how much purchases they have. But when you're doing integrating, you need to identify what particular sales account that you connect when they are selling, what particular purchase account when they are buying, no, or expense account. Now, for this purpose, I've selected Vend. Okay. Now, I've already set up a trial account for Vend. So what is Vend? Vend is a point of sale system where you can actually, if you have a store, you can issue receipts from here, and then you can add product, meaning you can manage inventory. Then you can also manage customers here. When I was starting with Xero, this was the very first add-on in 2013 that I have integrated. So that's why we are partners with Vend as well. And that's why in all my demo, I'm using Vend because it's easy to integrate. So now, the next step would be, now you've added the chart of accounts. You have to make sure that you are logged in already on your Xero organization that needs to be integrated. So it would happen that you have multiple Xero organizations. Make sure when you're about to do integration, make sure you're already in the right Xero organization, logged in already, no? It's active, because it will help us in the next step. So the next step would be, we do integration now, connecting Xero to the add-on. So what we wanted to do is to connect Xero to Vend. How do I do that? Normally, you do that on the add-on when you're doing integrating. So in this case, it will be in Vend. I go to Setup, and then I select add-on. Okay. Now for Vend, it does not only integrate with Xero, it integrates also with others software. This is what I was talking about at the introduction. The name of the game for software right now is integration. So you see, Vend is a different business. Xero is a different business. But what they do is they integrate each other so that business owners can come up with their own suites of features that are more applicable for them. In the past, you would buy the entire system as an ERP, where you have all the suites required, like HR, for example, accounting, point of sale, inventory, all together. You buy it in one vendor. The name of the game in the future would be separate and focused softwares. Like Xero is focused on accounting, and then Vend is focused on inventory or point of sale. Different vendors, you can connect them together. So here in this example, Vend can connect to QuickBooks Online as well, and MYOB, MailChimp as well, because it has a CRM here. You can also connect to Deputy, which is good for restaurants or for companies that has several shifts. Timely is also schedule or time when you are making appointments. You can also connect from here. So now our intention is only to connect to Xero. So I would click connect to Xero from an add-on here. Click here. And because I'm already logged in, it's easier for me to find that organization. Enable Xero, then select the organization. So we are doing Marketing Philippines. Why I did that very easily? Because I'm already logged in. So my computer, my laptop, and with, of course, the algorithm at the back of the integration, immediately captures what is the specific Xero organization you are already logged in. So in this case, it was easy for me to select. There was no other. And then I allow access. So that's the first step. You connect Xero to the add-on. Done. Okay? So we've done the first step. We have connected. Next is the mapping. So mapping, what does it mean? Mapping means you are now going to use the chart of accounts of Xero to match to a particular functions of that add-on software. So in this case, Vend. So let's say this is now where we need to fill up the chart of accounts. So now we are mapping now. So let's say it's asking what is your tax that you use in Xero, right? So then I would use, I don't have, why I don't have sales tax. So then I would say sales tax here. Okay, sales tax first. I'll set up sales tax first. Add sales tax. Okay, then go back to that add-on. So when I connect, it does not bring me to the connection again, but just go directly to the mapping. So here, what I would do, I have no tax here, so then no VAT, and then sales tax would be, oh, why it's not? Okay, create, okay, fine, added, and then your default of the sales account. So this is where this chart of account is coming from your Xero. So we select the chart of account, meaning every time it sells the product, when it pushes the data of the invoice to Xero, it will record under the sales ledger. How do you want this to be in Xero? Do you want this approved, waiting for payment, or draft? So normally we do approve. And then how do you record inventory? I would record an asset method, and therefore I would be asked to put an inventory account. So then I don't have an inventory account. I can create inventory account. The chart, instead of creating the chart of account in Xero, I can do that. But here as an option, Vend allows us to create a new chart of account from Vend and then automatically added in Xero. Okay, so I've added that. Cost of goods sold, since we have a cost of goods sold also. Default payment, we'll use Banco de Oro. Unless you have a cash account, another like what we used to be cash from drawer. Maybe you can create that as an account in Xero. But for now, let's do the bank. And then I'll do also refunds. Do I have refunds? I'll create a refund account. That creates automatically in Xero. Discount, I will use sales as a discount. And then discrepancy, create a discrepancy account, create. So here, instead of going to Xero and create my chart of account, I can create from here. So rounding, every time there's a rounding amount, it goes to this particular ledger. What is the liability? Then increase liability when the store is manually created. So what I would do, I create here, and I would say Vend store credit. Right? Create another account, and then expense here. Normally, I would just use general expense. Okay, it's already existing. And then do I have a petty cash account expense? Normally, every time, because in Vend, it allows you to record also petty cash expenses from your drawer. So every time they will have a petty cash expenses in the drawer, they will have to be posted in the general expense. Cash in, cash out, I don't have that account. I don't have that account. That's a problem. Let me just use the temporary this one. So cash in, cash out. I save this, okay? And then because I cannot create the accounts from here, I will be forced to create that chart of account in Xero. So I would add cash flow. Then this would be current asset for payment. Then another do cash in and out. So 2 to 3. And then this is also enabled. This is also current asset. Okay. Now I'll go back to Xero since I set that up. What I would do, I click sync first so that it will absorb the latest added chart of account. I sync that already, done. And then I'll go down at the bottom and I can fix this. So then I would use, what is this, cash in out. Okay, and then cash flow. Okay, it's all set up, saved. So now what will happen, my Vend, the Vend software is already connected to Xero. So every time I sell from Vend, which is where I issue my receipts, Xero Vend would now push the cost of goods sold entry at the same time the sales entry to Xero. Okay, avoiding double entry. So if you look at here and go to advanced, let's see what our software is integrated with your Xero. You can quickly look at that. I don't know if I can still see that. So yes, connected apps. When you go connected apps, you can confirm that Vend is the one that is already, so far, it's the one that's connected. Okay, Vend HQ, it's connected. If you want to disconnect, you just click here, it's going to be disconnected.